So here we are, we're back. So this is the second part of chat number 113. This is the fluff part. And for the fluff tonight, because didn't have a lot of time to prepare anything, because again, we've been at the hospital or the nursing home, we're making some rough decisions this week. So instead, I decided to take a couple of people were having some issues, and I decided to take that and turn it into an opportunity tonight. So this is the second half of chat 113, and we're going to talk about the recipe builder on WW. So WW, if you have the app, that's whether or not you are online only, or if you have to go to the digital workshop, or if you go to a physical workshop, as long as you have eTools, or if you're online only, you already have this because you're online only. But I've had a bunch of questions about the recipe builder in the last 2 weeks, and we actually had somebody this week that was really struggling with it. Like, she spent 2 hours, I think, trying to input a recipe, and was really frustrated with it. So that's what we're going to do for the second part of tonight's chat. And let me just go to the WW app on my phone. So I have an iPhone. Your phone might be a little bit different than this if you have an Android, but first you're going to go to your app. Hopefully you are already logged in, and hopefully you have already been tracking everything. But when you get to the home screen, whatever the home screen on your app looks like, and again, that could be, you can do the recipe builder from the app that's on your phone, from the app that's on your tablet, or you can do it from the computer. So you used to have to do it from a physical computer, and so I never did it. I don't want to say never. I hardly ever did it because I was like, oh, it took so long. So I'm so happy now that it's part of the app. But this is what it looks like today on the Apple phone, Apple iPhone. And of course, they update all the time and it changes all the time. So this is for today. So to go ahead and add a recipe, we're going to go down here to the plus sign. And remember, this is on an Apple, so I don't know what it looks like on an Android, but you will find it. You will find it. So on here, you're going to go to My Food and touch that. And then you'll see you've got foods, recipes, and meals. Ooh, and meals. Hopefully I didn't just touch meals. But on the iPhone up here, and hopefully you can see that in the upper right hand corner, it says Create. So we're going to touch Create. Did I touch it? Oh, here we go. We're going to touch Create, and your choices are a food, and it is not, okay, y'all stop talking about WW going under. It's not going under. Calm down. And this is not the sign for calm down, but just calm down. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, calm down. We'll just start our own little thing if it does, so calm down. Anyway, okay, so tonight we're not talking about Oprah on the news. We're talking about the recipe builder. So I'm only going to talk about the recipe builder tonight, okay? So anyway, you go to recipe. So your choices are food, recipes, or a meal. And we're going to go to recipe. And it's going to take you to the screen where you add a recipe. And the first thing says, enter a name for your recipe. So we're going to do 3 different recipes tonight. So the first one is, we're going to make my green beans. So I'm going to put in green beans because I realized this weekend that if I had to eat any 0-point food for every day for the rest of my life, it would be green beans. And this is the way that I like them. Hello, Patricia. This is the way that I like them. So I'm just going to name it green beans because this is the way I make green beans every single time. And then you have to tell it how many it serves. So I'm going to say, and we're going to play with this. So for right now, I'm going to say, and you do have to back up and erase that 1 if you just start adding numbers after it. Then if you just add numbers after it, like it already had a 1, if you put 2, it's going to be 12. So you do have to back it up. So I'm going to say that this serves 4 people. And then I'm going to go to ingredients, and then you just touch add for the ingredients. Here is my favorite thing about having this on the app now. So for my green beans, I have all of the ingredients here. So I have them all here. They're all already in a package, and they are all in a package with a barcode. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to touch the barcode, and my barcode comes up, and we are going to scan the food. In this first thing, is Allen's cut Italian green beans. And if you all do not have these, if you all do not have Allen's in your area, you got to ask for them. These are the best green beans ever. They're flat cut Italian green beans. Oh, sorry, I got something in my eye. Anyway, so one serving is a half of a cup, and this can has 3.5 servings in it. So that would be 3 times a half. So that is 1.5. That is 2 cups. So this has 2 cups in it. So you're going to say this has 2 cups, and so you're going to turn the little dials. Whoops! You're going to turn the little dials around to 2 cups. Or you could put in the ounces, because this is a 14.5 ounce can. And so, you know, you could also say, you could spin the little dials around and do 14, and that's approximately 1/2 ounces, you know, and you can add that either way. Just be sure that you, bye Angie, just be sure that you do it for however many you're going to put in there. So I'm actually going to say for this recipe that I'm going to put in 2 cans of green beans. So that is going to be 29 ounces. So I'm going to scroll it on up to 29 ounces. Just be sure that you change it, you know, for however many ounces or however many cups that you have. So, okay, but Kathy, we're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about how many servings it ends up being. So we're going to add that ingredient, and now we are going to add another one. You just go here to add again, and if you need to add more details, you can. I'm going to go to the barcode scanner, and I'm going to scan. I always put a tiny bit of olive oil in my green beans, so I put a tiny bit of olive oil in there, and I do not put an entire, so it came up to a tablespoon. I put 1 teaspoon. I put 1 teaspoon of olive oil for the 2 cans. And yes, those are pole beans. Yes, you're correct, Heather. Those are pole beans. So I'll put 1 teaspoon. We're going to add that to it. And I'm going to go here and add another ingredient. Going to go to the scanner. And I have some Bragg liquid aminos. And if you've never put these in green beans, whoo, boy howdy, you're missing out. I'm going to scan it. And the serving size is 1/2 teaspoon. I put 2 teaspoons. I put 2 teaspoons for 2 cans in there, and add that ingredient. So now I have this, and I have said that that's 4 servings. Okay, 4 servings would mean that each serving was going to be 1/2 can. I don't think that's too bad. This is a small can. It's a 14.5 ounce can, and even though it says that there's 3.5 servings, I mean that's 1/2 cup serving. That's 1/2 cup serving. So I'm going to eat probably close to a cup of green beans. So I'm okay with it being 4 servings. That's 4 almost 1 cup servings. So I'm going to go ahead and say that we're going to create that. So now I hope y'all can see that. So now I have a recipe for green beans, and I can go ahead and track it for tonight if I want to. You don't have to track it in the same day. You can, you know, go back and track it for another time or whatever you want to. But, so let's say that you thought, well, gosh, you know, that's 0 points. And I really like bacon in my green beans, because I know a lot of people do. So you can go up here and you can edit the recipe that you just made. And you can say, you know what, I'm going to add, right here, I'm going to add another ingredient, and I'm going to use the scanner again, and I'm going to add 1 slice of cooked, or let's make it 2 slices. So I just scanned it. Okay, 3 slices of this bacon, and this is from Aldi. This is the Appleton Selects. So 3 slices of this bacon is 2 points. And so let's say we're going to cook that, and we're going to crumble it up, or we're just going to put it in there raw and just let it boil and boil and boil, because that's the way good Southern girls make green beans. And so we're going to add that ingredient. And now look, for almost a cup of green beans, it's still only 1 point. 1 point. So, and you can adjust it. So if you want to go back and forth, you know, if you want to go back and forth with the amounts on there, if you only want to do 1 piece of bacon, so let's say we want to do that. We can go to, let's say, I don't know, 1 point really. So we're going to go back to the bacon, and we can change it to 1 slice of bacon and update the recipe. Oh, and it's still 1 point. But at least you can go up and down, you know, and you can keep, you can keep fiddling with it. Okay. So that is how you track how you make your own recipe by scanning things that you have in your kitchen or scanning things that you have at the grocery store. And if you like that one, then you can touch the star, and now that is a favorited recipe. So if I go back now to my foods, and let's see, if I go to my recipes, or hold on, let's see, where is it? There is a place to get to your favorited foods. Yeah, so, oops. So when you go to track something, since I favorited that recipe, when I go to track something, I can go here to favorites, and the green beans are right. They are right there. So the green beans that we just made are right there. Okay. So that's one way to do it. So that is how you add something on your own if you have the ingredients on hand. And if you don't have them, all of them on hand, you can always use the search bar to search for some of them. Okay, the second thing you can do is you can take a recipe that's already on your app. So you can use one of the WW recipes and you can adjust it. So you can make it into your recipe. And the one that I chose to adjust was the black bean. It's the black bean tomato and corn salad tostadas. Okay, so this one you can see that it's 2 smart points. It's already got that calculated for you. And this is a recipe that was already in here from WW. So, you know, you can see that it's already got the recipe details. You know, it's got the time, it's got the prep time, the cook time, how many people it serves. So they say it serves 4 people. And then the difficulty rating is easy, and it says, so I'm going to read you the ingredients instead of turning my phone around this time. So the ingredients are 3 tablespoons of lime juice, 1 teaspoon of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1 cup of rinsed and drained and rinsed black beans, 1/2 cup grape tomatoes, 1/4 cup of frozen corn, 2 tablespoons of onions, 2 tablespoons of cilantro, 1 medium jalapeno, raw seeded and minced, 1 medium garlic clove, fresh, and corn tortillas, 6. Okay, so all of these ingredients make it 2, per serving. So what I'm going to say, oh, Kathy said she thought maybe there was a secret. Okay, but you notice, even though this is a WW recipe, it still has the little pencil up there, so you can change it. So once you go on here, like I don't eat onions. I love onions, but they hate me. So now that I've done that, you can, on onions, yes. So now look, you can pull it to the side and remove it, and see, now the onions are gone. I love jalapenos, but I buy them already diced. So I'm going to remove that item, and then I'm going to add right here, same place. You add an item. I'm going to add, and I have to be looking at it to type it. So I'm just going to type into the search thing. I am going to add, let's see, diced jalapenos. Where is that? Sorry, just got a notification in the middle of that. Okay, so there, and I'm going to add that ingredient. Okay, and then if I can, I am going to change this. Instead of those regular tortillas, I'm going to add something. I'm going to go to add, and I am going to add a cut. Yeah, I'm going to add a cut to carb flatbread, but I'm going to add 2 flatbreads. Oops, 2. So I'm going to add 2 of them, and I'm going to add that ingredient. Now my per serving is 1 smart point. So do you see what I did there? I took a WW, I took a WW recipe and took it from, what was it before, 7 or 4? I don't remember. It was a lot more than 1. But anyway, the only things I changed is I took onions off, because onions don't like me. I love onions, but they don't like me. And thank you, Patty. But I did cut to carb, and if y'all haven't tried those yet, you do have to order them online, but I'm telling you, it's worth it, and they are real food, real food. But so that took it down. Or like if you use Olay Extreme Wellness. So let's see this. Okay, so I love cut to carb, but for those of you who have not ordered those yet, let's take those off, and let's not make her cry because we took those off. And if you have, so let's go back to add. And I know a lot of you all buy Olay Extreme Wellness wraps. So we're gonna change, so there they are. I found them. I just did a search and found them, and we're gonna do 4 wraps, and we're gonna add that as an ingredient. Just 2. So we're back to just 2. Yeah, okay. So what do y'all think? Can you do that? We have one more. We have one more way to do it. Okay, but is everybody with me? So before I move on, I'm gonna take a sip of water. Before I move on, yes, my Christy, you can edit the recipes. You can. Or like if you wanted to make those into minis. So let's say that you wanted to make those into minis and you were gonna serve more than 4 people. If you were gonna make it serve, oh, whoops, I got off the edit thing. So you go back to edit, go down here, and if you were gonna make them into smaller ones and you wanted, remember you gotta back that off or it'll make it 48. And if you were gonna make them half the size, then ta-da! Yeah. So, and I do that all the time. So sometimes I'll go, oh, I'm going to put this in it instead of that. Or like I'll say, I'm going to put light sour cream in it instead of non-fat Greek yogurt. And then I get done with the points and I go, nope, I'm putting non-fat Greek yogurt in it. You know, or if I have enough, if it turned out, you know, a low enough, you know, what I thought was an affordable, you know, number of points, then I'll go ahead and use, you know, light sour cream. Okay. So everybody's still with me, right? You're all still with me. Everybody's getting it. You don't have any questions? Do you have any questions about that? Okay, because I'm going to show you one more. And I had some of those green beans for supper tonight. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, and I'm sure you already knew this, but you can go ahead and track it. So you don't have to track it, but you can track it. Okay, so here's the last one. So let's say you have an existing recipe that that you love, and this is an old book that I had. It's a Weight Watchers New Complete Cookbook, but this one's all Points Plus. So I got to go on Points Plus. So when we first changed to Smart Points, whoo, I dug my heels in, and I was not going to change. But so I kept all of my old material. So this was a deviled egg recipe that we had on Points Plus, and I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful recipe. It's delicious, and it has a lot of variations, but it was 3 Points Plus, and that wasn't bad when we were on Points Plus because I got 30 points a day when we were on Points Plus. But let me just add this, let me just go ahead and put this in real quick here. So I don't have any of these ingredients out here in front of me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the plus button like I was before. I'm gonna go to My Food. Then I'm gonna go to Create a Recipe. And the name is, I'm gonna call it WW Classic Deviled Eggs. Because that's what it's called in this book, and that way I'll know that it's from this book. Okay, so that's what the recipe is going to be, and according to this recipe, it serves 4. So that is going to be 4 servings, and I'm going to add ingredients. But I don't have these ingredients. I do, but I'm not going to drag them out. So I don't have these ingredients, so I'm just going to type them in. So I'm going to search. I'm going to search for the ingredients, and the first one is eggs. There are the eggs, and there are 4 large eggs, so I'm going to change the servings to eggs. To eggs. The servings to 4, and I'm going to add that ingredient. Then I'm going to add another ingredient. Maybe. There we go. And the next one is reduced fat mayonnaise. And let's see. Okay, reduced fat mayonnaise, and that is 2 tablespoons. I'm going to add that ingredient. Then I'm going to add, the next ingredient is cider vinegar. So I'm going to look for that. Cider vinegar. And there we go. And that is 1 teaspoon. So I'm going to change it. It came up automatically as a tablespoon. I'm going to change that. Oh, and see, teaspoon is not an option. 1/3 of a tablespoon is a teaspoon. So I'm going to change it to that and add the ingredient. I'm going to add Dijon mustard is the next one. And of course, if I had any of these, you could scan them, so you can do both. You can scan or type them in, but it's 1/2 of a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. So we're going to scroll down to 1/2 a teaspoon, take that down to 0, and put that on, scroll up to 1/4. And I'm going to add that ingredient. And if you had any special, if there were any special instructions, or here, like let's do this one. So it's got salt and pepper, but I'm not going to put those in there just for the sake of time because it's already 5 till. But like the next one is parsley. So it wants you to add parsley. So I'm going to do add, and I'm going to type in parsley. Parsley. Okay. And they wanted you to use fresh, and they wanted you to chop it. So you can add instructions. So see here where it says preparation, if you can see that. So I'm going to click on preparation, and I'm going to put chopped. So, oops, not chewed, chopped. So if you needed special, hopefully you can see that. If you needed, special instructions, you can go ahead and add them there. And so you're going to add that ingredient. So now we have the same deviled eggs. So it's 4 large eggs, 2 tablespoons of reduced fat mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon of cider vinegar, 1/2 a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a pinch of salt, a pinch of black pepper, and chopped flat leaf parsley. And then all the instructions, and you can go ahead and add the instructions back in here if you need to. But before, it was for 1 egg. So for 1 egg, that's 2 halves. It was 3 points plus. And remember, I got 30 points plus a day, so I thought that was a great deal. Well, look, now it's 1 points plus. So don't you think I have been going through all of my, my points plus, my big new complete cookbook, and going through and looking for all the things that have 0 point, ingredients in it, and going, ooh, how many points is this? So I had my, my old favorite points plus book, but I can go through and figure those. And let me see, there's one more I wanted to show you real quick because it turned out it was way different. Let's see here. It is some little cookies. They were little thumbprint cookies, and they come out to, I think they come out to, oh, where's the picture? They came out to 2 points plus, and I think on Smart Points they were 1. But anyway, so yeah, you can take, all your favorites, and you can go through and again flip through. I was going through and marking, all the ones that had chicken breast or could have chicken breast or beans or corn, or anything like that, and going ahead and marking them. Yeah, and Lynn's exactly right. The Skinny Taste cookbook. Do it with that too, because she doesn't, I think the cookbook does have the points and the website doesn't, or vice versa. So there's another one of those that I go through, but I usually go through, and you can see I use, oh, where did it go? Hold on, let me find it. I use the same paper clips. Well, I use the same paper clips. I use colored paper clips to mark. There's a couple in this one. I use the colored paper clips to mark the recipes that I want to go back and figure out what the new freestyle points are. And then I go ahead and write on my pages. I don't know if y'all do that or not, but I write on my pages, but I do designate whether it's PP, so the old ones were points plus, then Smart Points SP. I do designate Freestyle Smart Points as FSP, even though you do not have to, but I do for my own sanity, just so that I know. Just so that I know, that it's Freestyle Smart Points. Okay, so go through and do that, but check all of your old recipes. But does everybody get it? So I've given you 3 different ways to use the recipe builder. Hopefully that's going to answer all of your questions. If it doesn't, let me know, and I'll be glad to answer them. So if you're watching this later on YouTube, it's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. Please remember to subscribe. Yeah, or order a t-shirt. because I think right here is the button for ordering a t-shirt. And honestly, I need y'all to order t-shirts and stuff so that we have money to move to the new test kitchen, because it's going to cost like $10,000. Hello, Roberta, to get everything set up. Anyway, so yeah, so please subscribe, please order t-shirts, please, 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 or please, let me think, please, please. This is sorry, please. So please order t-shirts, you know, or watch YouTube videos or whatever. But anyway, hello Marlene and hello Roberta. So yeah, so please subscribe if you're watching this later. And if you have any questions, let me know. Please share this with people that you know are struggling with the recipe builder. It's actually a lot of fun now. I didn't like it when I had to sit and type it all on the computer. I mean, I like the computer, but now it's so awesome and it's so easy, because now I can just go scan, scan, scan. Nope, that's too many points, reduce it or make it, you know, into more servings or whatever. So I've given you 3 different ways to do it. Hopefully it makes sense to everybody now, but let me know if it does not. And I'm gonna see if Dusty's kind of tired, because he had Alyssa all day yesterday and part of the day today. Yeah, he's not even moving, and I guess because I didn't make any food. But anyway, if you have oh, and Pam, so go to YouTube. So Pam says, I don't see anywhere to order the t-shirts. I want one. So if you go to www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, and then I think it's under the shop, I think. Or if you, hello Inez, or if you watch this later on youtube.com, just search If You Have an Egg. When the newer videos, like the last few that we've done, last maybe 4 that we've done, at the very end of them, there are 3 boxes. There's a box and 2 circles, and one box is to subscribe. One circle is to subscribe. The box is for the next newest video, and then the other circle is to go to where the t-shirts are. And if you don't see the t-shirt that you want, you can change it. You can change it. Don't just assume that what you saw on there was, you know, was it. But anyway, I'm gonna let y'all go, because I did somehow manage to still talk for an hour and 2 minutes. And I'm gonna go finish my dinner. Y'all, and again, thank you all so much for your well wishes. Thanks for thinking about me and my dad and my family. And I hope everybody understands what to do now on the recipe builder. And y'all have an amazing week. Don't forget your homework from chat number 113, when, what, and why. And I will see you all next week. Have a great week. Good night.